Order! Order in court! Order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Are you trying to suggest? Yes, this Curary poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that. What is this welling up inside me? Oh, I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Damn. Kommt jetzt Objection?
Objection!
I don't think so, Miss Jose Brett. Geil! Geil, Gänsehaut. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Alter, wie lange habe ich gewartet, diese Musik in Game zu hören? Geil! Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence, as we now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the Curary? Muss ja irgendeine Wunde... Ah, da ist sein Zahnarzt. Sein Zahnarzt. This is clearly a record of some kind of medical treatment. And there's an entry for the professor was killed. Extraction with the use of anesthesia. Extraction. Alter, die Musik! Oh Mann. Der Hype ist echt. Der Hype ist real, kann man auch sagen. Says no food or drink other than water for 3 hours. Okay.
Take that!
Als ob er jetzt Take That sagt! Oh man, er benutzt die Ace Attorney Bubble statt Yes. As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. A fatal difference? The toxic effects of Curary are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But, what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you have just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointments that day. So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Alter, wie geil! Is she... Okay, nicht so geil. Laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile. What? What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy, you'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No! Haut jetzt damit an oder was? I mean, it could just slip. Trinkt sie... Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. No! What is it? What just happened? It's the Englishwoman. She just smashed a bottle. And in the Supreme Court. What a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible. At once. You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. Also wir sind quasi zu dumm dafür. How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in the bottle, or not. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution? Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady? That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course, the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No, you killed the victims that day, using curare. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest, with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime. Heh heh heh. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly! And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now... Is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke. Yes? We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. In my head. You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend upon. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. Das Glas! Ich will das Glas sagen. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. Oh! Is Kazuma white? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Ja, natürlich. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. Haha, you always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe the smug smile of that English woman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's really killer must have been is... Ja, wo ist das wohl? Wo sollte das wohl sein? Hm?
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes, what is it? He's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection!
Wait a minute, where are you going? Where are you going with this little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood. What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have been have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, dann hätte die Kugel durchgehen müssen, um da überhaupt Blut, aber die Kugel ist ja nicht durchgegangen. There's no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Ah! Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Giselle Brett. I beg your pardon?
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
Oh! This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate, in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice, okay? Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a blood stain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir! Okay. Sorry for the delay. Here is what you ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector. The blood man. Show the court. Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. Okay. No. No blood. No blood anywhere. But no, that's impossible! I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. Ja, wurde weggewischt oder was? It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate. Hehehe. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust the Japanese, what the Japanese tell you. Ah! I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire, I believe we may finally have reached a conclusion in this trial. Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. Scheiße! Ha! This sorry looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest. The plate of steak has been entered into the court record. The meal Miss Brett ordered for lunch, it was removed from the victim's table after the incident. Was the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? Nee, wir untersuchen das jetzt. Hä? What is das? Was ist das? What is das? Ja moin. Neues Level von Denglisch erreicht. What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin. And the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe. Ein Koban coin, das war doch der alte Typ. Der Katsunomiza irgendwas. Ich glaube, so hieß er nicht. Aber der hat dann nach diesen Koban coins gesucht. No, I don't mean what is it. I mean, what's it doing here? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a Hoei Koban. I've heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion in bouillon. And I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary though. This means... Ja, was bedeutet das? Er hat das ja gesucht. This emblem on the side of the plate. Is it a cat? It's a cow, obviously. Most likely because the restaurant's signature dish is beefsteak. It seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware. So this is a symbol of La Carnival, is it? Okay. Was the plate or thought I was just a figment of my imagination? This is it now. I've lost. Ryonosuke. It's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. Believe in myself. Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. Haben wir schon. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? There's another clue. Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
Objection!
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beef steak. Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial. I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied with all reasonable doubt has been dispelled. I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it? Position. Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is where this new clue to be found? Unter der Platte, ne? Achso, ja. Zack, zack. Ja, haben wir alles schon. Ich weiß zwar nicht, was der jetzt wieder da macht und wie lange das noch den Fall verlängert. Das ist auf jeden Fall sehr interessant. Present.
Got it!
Good gracious. That's... Coben? Und was ist das auf der Rückseite? What on earth? How he ever wanted that? Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
Shut up!
What a ridiculous question! How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what this is, but I want no part of it.
Objection!
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction.
Objection!
Don't be absurd. We are supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare holy Coben just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll whip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Yes, Counsel? A rare holy Coben just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
Objection!
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Shut up!
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant. Even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the Coben that was found underneath the beefsteak is... Curio Corricuta, genau.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer and owner of Wasute, Kiori Korikuta-san. Kiori? As in Mr. Kakamba something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Coben coin where it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Holy Era Coben, my prized coin. Then this Holy Era Coben. Do you mean to tell me...
Objection!
No, please, why would Korikuta-san's Coben be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and his plate? It makes no sense.
Yes!
Which is why I'm asking to bring Korikuta-san back to the witness stand, so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. I can't believe we've come back around to that pair again. But I have a hunch. A strong hunch. Ich finde das cool, diese Kamerafahrten, die so ihn rumgehen. That if we chase down the real significance of this Coben, we'll find that it's a key element in the case. Okay, to be continued? Nein. Oha, alle 4 sind jetzt da. What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Ido? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs, forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom, myself, I, became a ruined man in a trice, a worthless withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. The sun has set on this Wasutei shop owner's existence. Be that as it may, Koekuta-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Wasutei memory serves, have you ever seen this? Ah! Yes! That's it! The one! The very one! The very exact one, that is! The resplendent, splendiferous holy treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be! As I thought. Young man! Enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat juices. Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident. Which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my holy treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing. Miss Brett. Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case. Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation. Genau, das hat gesagt. La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, ich will immer Dinners sagen, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Also eine Anzahl von Diebstählen. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it? Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Coben incident is the work of the same thief. So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Koekuta-san's Koban is all too clear. What? Wirklich? What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Koekuta-san's Koban and hid it under the steak? Sie? Hä? Oder Dr. Watson. Oder Wilson, Entschuldigung. Dr. Wilson?
Take that!
Yes, seems like a likely candidate for a Koban thief. No, come on, Ryonosuke. Huh? You shot me, Kazuma. Not as much as you shot me. No one could have approached the table unnoticed. Even with your crazy fool, you couldn't have missed that. I'm not sure You should be calling Korikuta-san a crazy fool, Kazuma. It's you I was calling the crazy fool. Maybe I'm on the wrong track here. I don't believe I can have heard you correctly, Counsel. Let me hear your opinion on this matter again. Ja, Giselle Brett dann?
Take that!
Nein, auch nicht. Hä? Hä? Dann kommt ja eigentlich nur noch Isea in Frage.
Take that!
Obviously. It can only be you. Ich finde es jetzt nicht so obviously, aber... Sergeant Isea Nosa. What? How? How dare you, you monster? Monster? I stole that Cohen, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, Cadet? But it wasn't me. It was Ido. Ido is the mastermind behind all this. Oh Mann. Wer es glaubt. You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby. It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. You. Wow! Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop. Ah! Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Isea Nosa, preparing to stand down in the Court Supreme Court, sir. What is happening? Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages of the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remain in place. And I have heard it's hard for lower ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant. The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and a fork even, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man and his Coben. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the steak. I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Ido too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could. On the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Okay. Kein guter Plan, aber besser als es einfach zu behalten.